All right, everybody, welcome back for another deep dive. And today we're looking into something uh, pretty interesting. It's this new system for creating and monetizing video podcasts. And the big hook with this one is that it's supposed to be super easy to use. And a lot of that comes from the fact that it leverages AI to do a lot of the heavy lifting.
Oh, yeah. Definitely sounds like it could be a game changer, especially for anyone who's maybe felt a little intimidated by the tech side of things in the past.
Exactly. And, they're making some pretty bold claims about how much money you can make with this thing and even a chance to win thousands of dollars in prizes during their launch event.
Yeah, I saw that too. A lot of buzz around this launch happening February 14th to the 18th, 2025. They're really pushing this idea that you can take like anything, an idea, a keyword, even a website, and their AI can just turn it into a video podcast.
Like almost instantly.
Yeah, almost instantly. And
Yeah.
that's what makes me wonder, are they targeting beginners with this, people who are maybe looking for that quick and easy solution?
And is that even realistic? Can AI really deliver on that promise without, sacrificing quality? Because at the end of the day, the content still has to be good, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. No amount of fancy tech can replace good content. But it's hard not to get a little excited when they're talking about 50% commissions, $299 per sale potential, and then that $3,000 prize
Yeah,
contest.
it all sounds amazing, but
But there's always but isn't there? I mean, if you look closely at the contest rules, it turns out the prizes are actually tied to how much of the software you sell.
so you don't just win by participating.
Right. You have to be one of the top sellers to actually claim the big
Right.
prize. And they're also not allowing teams to participate in the early stages, which, could limit the number of winners.
So it seems like maybe those big numbers are more about marketing than realistic expectations for most people.
Yeah, it's definitely something to keep in mind. And, while we're talking about marketing, what about those claims of proven to convert and high EPCs? I mean, do we have any actual data to back that up?
Or is it just, buzzword?
It's a red flag for me when I see those kinds of claims without any data to support them. High EPCs can be misleading and proven to convert. Well, proven by whom? Where's the evidence?
Right. It's easy to throw those phrases around, but without any concrete data, it's just, marketing fluff.
Exactly. And, at the end of the day, we have to look beyond the hype and really understand what this software actually does. What are the features? What are the limitations? And is it really worth the investment?
And that's what we're going to be digging into in the next part of our deep dive. So make sure you stick around for that because we're going to be uncovering a lot more about this AI video podcasting system and helping you decide if it's something you should consider.
We'll be right back.
All right, so we're back. And we've talked about, some of the big promises and some of the potential red flags with this AI video podcasting system. Now let's actually dig into the AI features themselves. They specifically talk about AI-powered script writing, voiceovers, video production. So there's like a lot of different AI going on here.
Yeah, it is a lot. And, it's important to remember that AI is kind of a broad term. The quality and capabilities can vary drastically.
Right. So how do we even figure out what kind of AI we're getting with this system?
Well, that's where demos and trials come in. I mean, reputable software companies will usually offer a way for you to kind of test drive the product before you buy it.
Yeah, that makes sense. You wouldn't buy a car without test driving it.
Yeah.
So why should AI software be any different? But let's say you are, trying out the software or watching a demo. What should you be paying attention to?
Mm.
How can you tell if the AI is actually good?
Well, when you're evaluating the AI-generated content, start with the script. Does it make logical sense? Does it flow naturally? Is the information presented in a clear and engaging way? Or does it sound like, just a bunch of random sentences strung together?
Right. You want it to sound like a human wrote it, not a robot.
Exactly. And then for the voiceovers, I mean, obviously you want to listen for how natural and expressive the AI voice sounds
Yeah.
because, a robotic or monotonous voiceover can really kill the vibe of a podcast.
For sure. So listen for clarity, intonation, emotional range. Does it sound engaging? Does it convey personality, or does it sound kind of flat and lifeless?
Exactly. And it's amazing how far AI has come in these areas. A few years ago, the idea of AI generating, decent voiceovers and videos would have seemed crazy.
Yeah, but even with all these advancements, I'm still a little curious about the monetization aspect because, they
Yeah.
make it sound so easy. Like you just upload your AI generated podcast and the money starts rolling in.
If only it were that simple. Monetization takes work regardless of the tools you're using. And they talk about, distributing your podcast on platforms like YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, which are all potential avenues for monetization, through ad sponsorships or even selling products directly to your audience.
Right. Those platforms have huge audiences, so there's definitely potential there. But isn't it also like incredibly difficult to stand out on those platforms? So how realistic is it for someone new to podcasting to gain traction just using this system?
That's the million-dollar question, right? Building a successful presence on any of those platforms requires more than just uploading content. You need to understand their algorithms. You need to optimize your content for discoverability. You need to engage with your audience, and you need to consistently deliver high-quality content that keeps people coming back for more.
Hmm. So even with AI assistance, there's still a lot of work involved in actually getting your podcast seen and heard.
Yeah, definitely. And let's not forget about the content itself. Even if the AI generates a decent starting point, you'll likely need to do some editing, add your own personal touch, and make sure it aligns with your overall podcasting strategy.
Right. The AI might be able to handle some of the technical heavy lifting,
Yeah.
but it's ultimately up to the creator to provide that, creative vision, that unique perspective, and that human connection that really resonates with an audience.
Exactly. AI can be a valuable tool, but it's not a replacement for the hard work and creative input that's required to build a successful podcast.
All right, this has given me a lot to think about. It seems like this AI video podcasting system could be a helpful tool for some people, especially those who are maybe new to podcasting or who are, intimidated by the technical aspects. But it's definitely not a magic solution.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's really important to approach this system and any system that promises, quick and easy results with a healthy dose of skepticism.
Definitely do your research, ask the right questions, and most importantly, don't lose sight of those fundamentals of good content creation and audience engagement.
Absolutely. All right, so I think we've covered a lot of ground here. We've talked about the potential benefits, the potential drawbacks.
We've looked at the AI features, the monetization aspects, and really tried to get a sense of what this system is all about.
Yeah. And in the next part of our deep dive, we're going to bring it all together. We're going to distill some key takeaways for our listeners and really help them decide if this AI video podcasting system is something they should consider.
So stick around for that. We'll be right back. Okay, so we're back and ready to wrap up our deep dive into this AI video podcasting system.
Yeah, it's been quite a journey, hasn't it? Unpacking all the claims and the potential and, those little things that make you go,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah,
We've talked about the excitement around AI-powered content creation, those promises of, effortless monetization and the need to really look at everything with a critical eye.
exactly. And now it's time to bring it all together and distill some key takeaways for our listeners.
So what stands out to you as like the most important things to think about before someone jumps into a system like this?
I think it's all about finding that balance, between the excitement of new technology and being realistic about what it can actually do.
Right. AI can definitely be a game changer for content creators, but it's not a magic bullet.
Absolutely. And I think a big part of that is recognizing that AI is just one piece of the puzzle.
Right. So what do you mean by that? What else should people be focusing on besides the tech?
Well, it starts with knowing your audience. Who are you trying to reach with your podcast?
Yeah.
What are their interests? What are their needs, their pain
Okay,
points?
so understanding your audience first and then.
And then you can start creating content that really resonates with them, content that provides value and keeps them coming back for more.
And that content creation process, even with AI assistance, still requires, human input, right?
Oh, absolutely. The AI can help with the technical stuff, but it's up to the creator to bring that creativity, that personality, that unique perspective that makes a podcast stand out.
So think of AI as like your assistant, not your replacement.
Exactly. It can help you work more efficiently, but it can't replace the human element that connects with an audience.
Right. The AI might generate a script, but it's up to you to infuse it with your own voice, your own style, your own passion.
That's what builds a loyal audience, that human connection. But let's not forget about the business side of things. This system talks a lot about effortless monetization.
So what's the reality there?
Well, monetization is rarely effortless. No matter what tools you're using, it takes strategy, it takes effort, and often a lot of experimentation.
And they mentioned platforms like YouTube, Facebook, TikTok.
Right, all of those offer potential revenue streams, but they're also incredibly competitive.
So you can't just upload your AI-generated podcast and expect the money to start flowing in.
You need a plan.
Mhm.
You need to understand how those platforms work, how to optimize your content for discoverability, and how to engage with your audience in a way that encourages them to support your work.
This has been really eye-opening. I think the biggest takeaway for me is that it's so important to approach any system like this with a balanced perspective. Don't get blinded by this shiny new tech. Do your research, ask the right questions, and most importantly, remember that success in podcasting or any content creation venture still requires hard work, creativity, and a genuine connection with your audience.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Embrace the potential of AI, but don't let it overshadow the fundamentals. AI can be a powerful tool, but it's up to the human behind it to guide its use.
Well said. This has been a fascinating exploration. I hope it's helped our listeners gain a clearer understanding of what this AI video podcasting system offers, both the good and the potentially not so good. Remember, do your own research before making any decisions. There's a ton of information out there, and critical thinking is your best tool. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, and be sure to check out our other deep dives for more insightful breakdowns of the latest trends and technologies.